Maybe if you worked harder, you wouldn't still be stuck in that dump of a job, my brother Ryan said, leaning back in his chair with a smirk. The dining room went quiet. My mother kept cutting her roast, pretending she didn't hear it. Dad sipped his beer, eyes glued to the TV in the next room. Only the hum of the refrigerator filled the silence. Ryan was home for the weekend, the golden child, the first in the family to get a college degree. He'd shown up in a new car, talking about his promotion and the big clients he handled. Now, over dinner, he turned his attention to me, as if my life were another of his talking points. I wiped my hands on a napkin, set down my fork, and looked straight at him. I work hard enough, I said. Ryan grinned. 2 jobs at a hardware store isn't exactly working hard, man. It's surviving. Mom chuckled softly, as if to ease the tension. Oh, Ryan, stop teasing your brother. But she didn't look at me when she said it. She didn't have to. I already knew what she thought. That night, as the plates clattered in the sink and Ryan bragged about his condo downtown, I could feel the heat in my chest building, slow and steady. This wasn't the first time. He'd always known how to humiliate me without ever raising his voice. Part 1. The Fault Line. Ryan had been the center of this family for as long as I could remember. When we were kids, he got new sneakers. I got his old pair. When he wrecked Mom's car, I was the one who worked extra hours to pay for the repairs. And when he went off to college on partial scholarship, guess who picked up the rest of the bill? Me. Back then, I was 20, working nights at the auto shop and doing delivery runs in the morning. Ryan was the dream, business major, fraternity boy, the one who'll make it. My parents couldn't stop bragging about him. He's going places, they'd say to the neighbors. I'd smile and nod, pretending I didn't mind being the one holding everything together back home. I told myself it was temporary. I thought once he graduated, things would balance out, that he'd finally stand on his own and maybe even pay me back. He didn't. After college, Ryan landed a cushy corporate job. He moved into a downtown apartment, bought a car he couldn't afford, and called me when the first loan payment hit. Just a small favor, he said, his tone casual, as if I was still his personal safety net. At first, I helped. Family, right? Then it became routine. Rent short 1 month, insurance due the next. Mom and Dad always said the same thing. Ryan's just getting started. You're the responsible one, Daniel. He's your brother. And I was. Too responsible, maybe. Part 2. The pressure cooker. By the time I hit 30, I'd spent nearly a decade cleaning up Ryan's messes. My savings were gone, my car was falling apart, and I was still renting the same 1-bedroom apartment I'd moved into at 22. Ryan, meanwhile, was posting photos from ski trips in Aspen and rooftop bars in Chicago. Networking, he called it. The last straw came 2 years ago. I just finished a 14-hour shift when Mom called, crying. Ryan had taken out a line of credit in my name. Said he needed it for a business opportunity. By the time I found out, it was maxed out, $10,000 gone. When I confronted him, he laughed. Relax, man. I'll pay it back. You worry too much. He never did. That was the first time something in me cracked. I started working extra hours, not for him, not for the family, but for me. I picked up side jobs, paid off the debt he'd dumped on me, and stopped taking his calls. It was slow, miserable work, but it gave me something I hadn't felt in years, control. I bought a cheap used truck, then a small plot of land outside town. For the first time, I felt like maybe I was getting ahead. And that's when he came back. It started with a text. Mom and Dad are thinking of retiring. They'll need help with the house. You in? It wasn't really a question. When I didn't respond, he called. Come on, man. Don't be like that. We'll split the costs. It's for them. I knew what split meant. I'd pay, and he'd take the credit. Still, I drove out one weekend to see them. The house looked the same. The sagging porch, the dying lawn. Inside, Dad was watching baseball, half asleep in his chair. Mom was setting the table. Ryan stood in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, pretending to help. He greeted me with that same smirk. Glad you could finally make time for family, bro. I wanted to turn around and leave, but I didn't. Old habits die hard. Dinner was tense. They talked about Ryan's new promotion, his big move to a management role. When Mom mentioned that he might need to relocate just for a bit, I knew what was coming before she even said it. Ryan might need someone to help with his rent until he gets settled, she said carefully, eyes flicking toward me. Ryan grinned. It's temporary. You know I'd do the same for you. I let out a small laugh. No, you wouldn't. The table went silent. Ryan's face tightened. What's that supposed to mean? It means I've done enough, I said. Mom's fork clattered against her plate. Daniel. No, I said louder now. I paid your tuition, Ryan. I paid your loans. I even paid for the car you totaled. I'm done. Ryan leaned forward, his voice cold. You think you're better than me because you work with your hands? You're just jealous. You'll always be jealous. That word, jealous, hit harder than it should have. Because once I might have been. Now I was just tired. I stood up, dropped my napkin on the table, and walked out. No one stopped me. After that dinner, I didn't see Ryan for months. But I heard from him, indirectly. He missed payments on his new condo. His car got repossessed. The company he worked for went through layoffs, and he was one of the first to go. When Mom called, she sounded worried. He's been through a lot, Danny. Maybe you could help him out? Just until he gets back on his feet. I said no. She saw like I'd failed some moral test. Family takes care of family, she said. But the thing was, family had only ever taken from me. A few weeks later, I ran into Ryan at a gas station near town. He looked different. Pale, thinner, nervous. His expensive clothes didn't hide how worn out he was. Hey, he said, forcing a smile. Long time. I nodded. Listen, I was gonna call, he said. I've been dealing with some things. Lost my place, staying with a friend for now. I didn't answer. He shifted his weight. Look, I just need a small loan. Just till I get something lined up. I shook my head. No. He blinked, like he hadn't heard me right. No. Come on, man. It's me. That's the problem, I said and walked away. He called after me, angry at first, then pleading, but I didn't turn around. That night, I sat on my porch watching the sun set behind the pines. The air was cool, quiet. For the first time in years, the silence didn't feel heavy. It felt earned. But deep down, I knew it wasn't over. Guys like Ryan don't stop taking. Not until someone makes them. And I was done being his fool. The next morning, I opened my laptop and pulled up a folder I'd been keeping for years. Bank transfers, credit records, loan documents, and every message he'd ever sent asking for money. Ryan had taken from me. He'd taken from my parents. And lately, I'd heard he was taking from people at work too, promising investment returns that never showed up. I stared at the folder for a long time. Then I started typing. By the time I was done, I had everything I needed to make Ryan finally pay, not in cash, but in the one currency he actually cared about: reputation.